G'day guys, welcome back on Living on 2 Acres, Queensland. Today is a quick update on how my dragon fruit trellis are doing and how the dragon fruit is doing, which I planted about 8 months ago. Now, if you've seen my original video, you might have heard me talking about me wanting to grow a lot of dragon fruit just to have, so you know, when it is time to harvest, we have an abundance. And I'm hoping I'm slowly getting to it, and this is what the first patch of dragon fruit looks like now, 8 months on. Now, in that video that I showed you before 8 months ago, you'll see there's just some minor plants in the ground, and this is what it looked like 8 months on. As you can see, some of them are doing a little bit better than the others. Like per se, this one here is just beginning to grow, while some are already starting to spread out quite a bit. And yeah, so I don't expect to have any fruit this season, but next season I'm quietly confident to have some. And you'll see that on the bottom here I decided to plant pineapples. Now, these are all pineapple tops that we grow elsewhere. We ate them, and I decided to plant them all in one spot, just so they're easier to look after. If I need to water them occasionally, it's easier to do. They're all here. And so yeah, this is where that is at. Now, you'll see on top here I have a little, almost like a buttons attached. I initially had a large bird protection net put over this entire row, because sometime after I planted the dragon fruit cuttings in the ground, and they started to grow, and they grew maybe a meter high. A bunch of cockadoos, of which we have heaps here, descended on it and just munched and ripped out all the growing tips and generally chewed on quite a few plants. So I covered it just to make sure it gets some, time to grow before it gets destroyed. Now, since they're starting to branch out at the top, I have removed the net because they were growing through the net, and that's no good. I don't want them to get, intertangled with the net, so I removed it before it was too late. And now I'm just hopeful that even if the cockadoos come, which they probably will, because they're just nuisance around here, I'm hoping there'll still be plenty left after they, do some damage to it. And also, I mentioned in my previous video that I'm going to do another row of dragon fruit. And this is it. I got around to do it maybe 5-6 months ago, maybe a bit more, pretty much not long after I did the first one, and that's what this looks like now. I made the bed a bit higher just so I can put more mulch around it, and here, as you can see, I also started to plant pineapples. There's still some room left for the ones that are about to be ready to be harvested, and once they're harvested and I see they're good, I will plant the rest in here as well. On that first row I planted all pineapples that we had, no matter how good or not so good they were, but these here I'm very selective. I'm only planting the tails from the pineapples which were nice, sweet, juicy, large, so a bit more selective here. Now, the one thing I'm a little concerned about with this row here and that other one as well is these bamboo sticks that I use as a support for the dragon fruit to grow, just so they can climb up. I'm not very confident that these bamboo sticks will last all that long, maybe another year or so, and they'll be gone. And then I'm just hopeful that dragon fruit will stay in the ground without support just by having this stem. Most of the weight of it, I expect, will be on these pieces of timber here that are designed to hold the branches as they overlap. and I'm hoping that will support most of the weight of the plant. And once the bamboo stick gets rotten and can't support the trunk or vine anymore, it's not gonna get the weight on top, which will be here obviously from all the branches that branching out. I hope that weight will not pull out the entire plant out of the ground. It's slightly different here where I have main support beams, because they will you know, attach the roots to them, and that will help them to, you know, stay upright. But what's gonna happen to, you know, that once the bamboo is rotten, I'm not sure, but I'll see how it goes. I hope it'll work. If not, I'm really gonna be in trouble, but I'm sure I'll come up with something. And here we can see wasps. For some reason they love to nest here, maybe because it's in the shade and protected from rain. Might have to come back and deal with them later. So yeah, this is what it looks like at the moment. I think it's doing well. What do you guys think? As always, you know, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, tell the others, and I hope we will have a very good dragon fruit season this year. I'll quickly show you what I have on my older plants, and there's quite a few fruit setting up there, so just give me a sec. So these are my older dragon fruit plants, and this season I should say, probably so far, not harvest wise, but as to how much fruit is setting, it's actually the best season so far. These plants here been in the ground for maybe 3 years. They didn't do all that well every year, so they're not extremely overgrown, but still. So I got what, 2, 4, 6, 7 on this one, and then there's nothing here. This didn't grow all that well. It's only this year that it did start to grow. On this one I only have one this season so far. Nothing else there. There's one about to come up here. Again, no more I think. So there's a few here, but not many have set up. There's one here, you can see. These flowers here didn't go past the small flower stage over there. This flower was open last night, so I hope it got pollinized. I don't do, you know, artificial pollination. Too much trouble, I don't care much for that. So there's another one that's setting now, and there's a few more on the way here. You can see this branch here doesn't look all that well, but the flowers so far looking pretty good. So I think, you know, some of them will survive, and that'll be great. And I think there's 1 or 2 here as well. So there's 1, 2. I expect these will not do all that well. They kind of look too yellow for the young flowers, but we shall see. Anyway, that's where that is at. And just one more thing, I'll tell you about the soil that I put in for the dragon fruit. So when I was building this, I basically just dug up the soil that was there already, and I added the whole lot of horse manure. Horse manure is, you know, the cheapest manure around where I am, and often you can get it for free, so that's what I use. And I just filled this up basically with horse manure. I thought it might be a little bit too potent because it was quite fresh, but no, none of the plants seem to care much for that. They actually grow quite well. I did add a little bit of composted chicken manure to here as well, just because I had it, I guess, and that didn't seem to do any harm as well. So I'm quietly confident that the soil which I prepared for the planting is okay. And wasn't big fan of horse manure before, but again, because it's so cheap and easily attainable around where I am, there's heaps of horse properties, large acreages. They just leave the piles outside of their front gate, and I just roll up with my trailer and load that up, or sometimes it's even in the bags. And so that's what I do. So again, as I said before, guys, leave your comments, like, share, subscribe, tell the others. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.